The food system. What is it? The food system is the path that our food travels from the field to the fork. This system is interrelated and interdependent. In a natural environment, one cannot exist without the other. Local food stories help our economy and help consumers know exactly where their food comes from. This amazing path connects farms to people and people to their food. Let's find out more about a food story. There are 5 main parts of a food story. The story starts with production, moves to processing, then moves to distribution, then moves to consumption, and ends with waste. Then the story begins again. With our subtropical weather in 4 different regions, South Carolina food stories are unique. This South Carolina food system story focuses on production. Production involves growing and harvesting that occurs on a farm, in a greenhouse, or in a garden. But to find out more, we have to ask.
What's my South Carolina food story?
I do it because I want to do it. That's it.
So what is a producer, and what do they do?
To me, a producer is someone that actually literally produces food, or is the, initial step in the growth and harvest of vegetable crops, in my instance.
What types of produce do we grow in South Carolina?
We already plant strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and tomatoes for you pick.
So yesterday we actually planted some beets, carrots, mustards, arugula, radish, turnips, and a braising mix.
With some wheat, soybeans, because we got another 100 acres on the other side over there. We got 200 acres on this side. So we got, pretty good land to be flexible.
What can you tell us about greenhouses?
We got about, 2,000 seeds in there that I'm going to plant tomatoes with. And they'll plant them in here, about half of them. The other half will go on the outside.
The seeds and stuff for in here, and this will get turned under a couple weeks to make way for tomatoes. This is an unheated greenhouse known as a high tunnel or cold frame.
We just got them out of our germination chamber this morning, and whenever they start coming up, then we have to take them out and put them in bright sunlight, and then they should start growing. We've got some here, 2 weeks old. These came through the hard cold. The reason I did these little bit here was because I was putting these in my high tunnel and I wanted to get them a little bit earlier. So anyway, that's kind of what we're doing.
So in our greenhouses, we grow microgreens. These are actually broccoli microgreens you see in front of you. Past that are sunflower, then we've got cilantro and celery microgreens. We also do beet, snow pea, red vein sorrel, red amaranth, arugula, radish. We do about a dozen different varieties of microgreens, which we sell to a lot of local restaurants around Columbia.
How does the production process work?
The process really starts kind of in the winter months when we do our planting plans and figure out a rotation of what we're going to plant. The next steps are primary tillage and then seedbed preparation. Then we'll either direct seed or transplant, depending on the crop and the variety.
Harvesting the snow pea microgreens. There are 2 varieties that we still hand harvest because this is just really the only way to do it to ensure quality and a clean cut.
Once I'm doing seasonal stuff now, when I'm doing the farming, I can plant 150, 200 acres in 2 days. We plant it and we finish with that and go do something else. With the equipment we use, farming is flexible, I could farm 500 acres with one guy.
And where does your harvested crop go?
If it's out of town, we'll use a local distributor, like Scent Brothers.
Tell us about how you sell your produce to schools.
Actually, we started off with Berkeley County School District, Linda Fairchild down there. They actually came to us after our GAP certification, I think was in 2012. and they came to us wanting some stuff, and we've been working with them ever since. They're a good partner. They buy things like strawberries and squash and zucchini and cucumbers, things that they don't have to do a whole lot of preparation with. But yeah, they buy from us.
Florence has got 22 schools, I think. Yeah, Bennettsville got 10. Dillon has got 6 altogether. So they go down to Lake City.
Many schools have gardens now. Why should a school start a garden?
I think number one, it has a huge hands-on component. It gets students active in what they're doing. Most children today go to the grocery store and they see things on the shelf, but they don't have any concept of the time that goes into producing the food.
And what's the greatest thing about having a garden at your school?
2 years ago, we got a large farm-to-school grant, which really got our kids involved in teaching younger kids about agriculture, about where the food comes from. We made over 20 raised beds for elementary and middle schools, and we were able to install them. We also did composters so they could use the vegetable waste from their cafeterias to compost and add organic matter back to the soil. So we do a lot of soil science in that.
Actually walk out, break something off, like the other day when we had the collards, and I just went over and just broke a leaf off and put it in my mouth, started chewing on it. They're like going, "Oh my God, you just ate that!"
This South Carolina food story of production tells us that South Carolina produces many different fruits and vegetables like strawberries, collard greens, blueberries, and squash. These are a few farmers in South Carolina, but there are over 25,000 farms in South Carolina alone, which encompasses over 5 million acres. So what's the moral of the South Carolina food story?
It's messed up is something we do, probably.